Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're seeing. So, health is almost finished. We have few here and there topics. So, we'll start with space. So, for space, also, I'm starting with very easy topics. Only two topics for today, just because we are starting space. So, after space, we'll do defense and then we'll go with biotechnology, followed by small miscellaneous topics and then NCRTs. Okay. So, coming to space debris. What's space debris? Sorry for the miscalculation image. So, you can think a dustbin of junk in space. That's called space debris. So, how do you get junk in space? So, as you know, day to day, our satellites are increasing, but satellites have a time limit, right? So, after specific time limit, they will get their functionality gets over, their batteries gets over. Um, what will happen after that? So, they will push the satellites to a place where it's not used, just like our dump yards. So suppose Chennai, we have a major, where all of this dirt and everything is put, dump yard. So just like that dump yard, you also have that in space. So why is it an issue now? So if it is on Earth, we will either recycle them or we will do something like that. But who is going to go into space and recycle all of them? So we also have techniques for that. We will see again tomorrow. I'm just giving you a glance. Space debris. So that is what space debris is. So space debris refers to non-functional objects in Earth's orbit. It includes old satellites, rocket parts, fragments from collisions. So there's a growing risk for active satellites and spacecraft. So for example, you can see our latest aircrafts where even a small stone gets stuck or even a bird comes and hits in the wings, your flight actually collapses, right? So in the same way, these rocket parts or old satellite parts, while there's no gravity, everything, so they keep on rotating, right? Even they are not in the functional path, they keep rotating. So while rotating, what if one of the part comes and hits a satellite? If it comes and hits a satellite which is functional, this will also be over, right? So that is the reason it is a growing risk. So challenges and impact: risk of collision with active satellites and International Space Station. International Space Station is a very important topic this year for prelims, because you know that Sony Williams is stuck in space for almost 6 to 7 months from now. So that's the reason. And there's a something called Kessler syndrome. What's Kessler syndrome? So there's a satellite. It goes and it collides and it becomes two parts. Now what happens is that now these again might collide and this might become more parts. So this phenomena is called Kessler syndrome and this continues. So what happens is eventually they'll become more small parts and eventually they might break down, right? And they might hit a functional satellite, which would be a major impact for Earth. And it is also a threat to future space machines and satellite operations. What if your satellite is going upward to, let's say, Geo? We'll see what's Geo, Leo, Meo. What if it's going there and suddenly one of the space debris comes and hits our new functional rocket? Not functional, even the rocket which is going to another orbit. What will happen then? Then that is also an issue, right? So coming, we will see. So the sun, just expect that. We'll see what is Geo, Meo and Leo orbits. So first we'll see low Earth orbit. So when this is your Earth and the distance between your space, and this is 200 to 2000 kilometer, okay, above the earth's surface. It is basically used for communication, earth observation, and international space station. Why communication is used here means, so when you, for example, you're using satellite internet and you send a message to somebody in Delhi and you're in Kolkata. So if you use satellite internet, the message has to reach the satellite has to reply back, right? So for this, it would take a long time basically. That is what is called latency, which we already spoke in technology classes, right? So the benefits is low latency, that is, it will go faster and it will come faster. The message will go faster and it will also come faster, okay. And also detailed imagery, that is, it can take pictures of earth nicely and it can send, see, just like the image here, it will show you how the landscape is, how the forests are, even if forest fires are growing, you can get it. You also saw the Wayanad satellite images, etc. So the images would be more clear. Challenges are higher atmospheric drag and more space debris. Space debris is more. And what is MEO and GEO orbit? Medium Earth orbit is, it's from 2000 to 35,786 kilometer. Okay, it is used for navigation system, that is GPS. And then the next one is geostationary orbit. So coming to geostationary orbit, it's nothing but at 35,786 kilometer above the equator you have it. So it is stationary with respect to earth, and it is ideal for communication. Though you have more latency and stuff, but it is very good compared to Leo as well. You'll have stable connection, you'll have more reliability on it, okay. And then um, geo, in geo, so for suppose this is your earth, this is your geo. So a total 3 satellites put here can cover your entire earth, okay. Because its orbital period is 24 hours, just like how earth rotates. And the satellite appears to be stationary to an observer on the ground, and it will also provide uninterrupted services for specific regions, like for TV broadcasting, weather monitoring, everything, because they appear to be stationary with respect to earth, because it also have 24 hour rotation period. Coming to disadvantages of geostationary is, it has high latency because it has to go 35,786 kilometer and come back, right? And it will coverage also, it will cover places near equator only nicely. And the launch cost is also so much, okay, because it should go from Leo to MEO, MEO to Geo, Geo transverse orbit, and from there it will come to geostationary orbit, okay. But just because it can cover the whole earth with the same rotational period, it is mostly used for as I told, communication, weather, navigation also, okay. Just to start space, I've told this. So what are we going to do in space? So in space we are going to see what's black holes, what's dark matter. We will see different types of what do you say, satellites. We will talk about how ISRO developed from start to till date, and we will see moon specific satellites, sun specific satellites, planet specific satellites. We'll see what gravitational force is, what gravitation is, as well as we'll see what are gravitational waves, So I've already done this video, but I just don't want to start with a very this thing, so I did not do anything. So tomorrow directly I'll be putting a 3.5 hour video for you. All the best for your space. Thank you. That's it for today. Have a great day.